we at our institution are dealing with, as many institutions are, this phenomenon, this movement called Black Lives Matter, and the response to Black Lives Matter. I can say, as an African American, a Black person, that I have some understanding of why there needs to be a Black Lives Matter. And I can also understand the need that there are the Blue Lives Matter, which represents police officers. We're all aware of the killings of young Black men by police officers. Some of those shootings are justified, some of them are not. But it's a situation where if there's one rogue, for lack of a better word, police officer who shoots a Black male, that is enough to set off a firestorm, because the expectation then is that any cop who arrests a Black male will shoot him. And unfortunately, we've well exceeded the number of shootings by police officers of young Black men this year versus last year. And it is a national phenomenon. So from that and other instances of injustice, perceived injustice, we have this Black Lives Matter movement. I can share that I understand that the Black Lives Matter is a result of our social structure which supports oppression for people of color. The reality is, as I had stated earlier, that our society is built upon the perceptions and the ideals of those who can identify as white, male, heterosexual, able-bodied, and Christian. So anyone that falls outside that realm may not recognize that there needs to be a Black Lives Matter, because the perception of people who are Black is that their lives don't. Hence these shootings of young Black people. And then on the other end of the spectrum, I'm well aware that police officers put their lives on the line every day. I couldn't imagine what it would be to be a police officer, to be married, to have a relative who's a police officer. I'm sure I'd worry every day about their health and their well-being. But I also say, with the same breath, that being a young Black male might be as scary as it is to be a police officer. So while we'll say Black Lives Matter and then the response is Blue Lives Matter, you might consider that somewhat of a microaggression. And the microaggression comes in is to say that if you're saying Black Lives Matter, well, Blue Lives Matter, it's to suggest that Black lives don't matter as much as blue lives. And the reverse would be true if our society were different, where we say Black Lives Matter and Blue Lives Matter don't. All lives matter. That's the truth of the matter. But in reality, Black people are generally oppressed in this country, so there needs to be this expression that Black Lives Matter. The others are in response to, but there's no oppression with the other groups. And to say all lives matter, which it does, kind of undermines the efforts and the meaning behind Black Lives Matter.